Ever wondered how to make the perfect pesto pasta at home? Imagine the taste of fresh basil and aromatic garlic, married with the creaminess of parmesan and the crunch of pine nuts. This isn't just pasta, it's an explosion of vibrant flavors, a culinary masterpiece you can create in your own kitchen. The satisfaction of making it yourself, the joy of sharing it with loved ones, that's the magic of pesto pasta. Stay tuned as we dive into the simple steps of creating this heavenly dish. Now, gather these ingredients to start your culinary adventure. First things first, fresh basil is key. Its vibrant green leaves will lend our pesto its signature color and flavor. Next, we'll need some cloves of garlic. Don't be shy with the garlic, it really adds a kick. Then we're going to need pine nuts. These little gems will give our pesto a slightly sweet, buttery flavor that's simply irresistible. Now let's talk cheese. We'll be using Parmesan. This hard, granular cheese will add depth and a beautiful umami flavor to our pesto. Of course, we can't forget the olive oil. A quality extra virgin olive oil will tie all of our flavors together and give our pesto that smooth, luscious texture. To season, we'll need some salt and pepper. Finally, pick your preferred pasta. Whether you're a fan of spaghetti, fusilli, or penne, any pasta shape will work wonderfully with this pesto. Have you got everything? Great. Now let's move on to the next step. Scene script. First, we're going to create our flavorful pesto sauce. To start, the heart and soul of our pesto is fresh basil. The vibrancy of its color and the intensity of its aroma are what make pesto so delightful. You'll need a good amount of it, so don't hold back. Now let's talk garlic. Garlic can be a bit of a diva. Too much and it steals the show, too little and the performance falls flat. You'll want just enough to give your pesto a bit of a kick, but not so much that it overpowers the basil. In addition to these two stars of the show, you'll also need pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, and good quality olive oil. The pine nuts add a lovely, subtle nuttiness. The Parmesan brings a savory depth, and the olive oil ties everything together. Now it's time to bring all these flavors together. You'll need a food processor or a blender for this. If you're using a food processor, start by pulsing the basil, garlic, and pine nuts together until they're coarsely chopped. Then, with the machine running, add the olive oil in a steady stream. If you're using a blender, it's a similar process. Start with the basil, garlic, and pine nuts, then slowly pour in the olive oil as the blender is running. With either method, you're aiming for a smooth yet slightly textured sauce. You want to see tiny bits of basil and pine nuts, but no large pieces. Once you've reached the right consistency, it's time to add the Parmesan. Give everything a final pulse to combine. And here's a pro tip. If your pesto seems a bit too thick, feel free to add a little more olive oil. Taste your pesto and adjust the seasoning if needed. A little salt and pepper can go a long way in enhancing the flavors. And voila, you have your fresh homemade pesto. But we're not done yet. While our pesto rests, it's time to cook the pasta. Now, pasta is a simple ingredient, but the magic lies in how you cook it. The secret to perfect pasta? 3 things: salted water, accurate timing, and saving some pasta water for later. Start with a large pot of water, enough to give your pasta plenty of room to move around. As the saying goes, pasta needs to swim, not soak. Bring this water to a rolling boil. Now let's talk about that salt. The water should taste like the sea. Salting the water is not just about seasoning the pasta, it actually changes the chemistry of the water and improves the texture of the pasta. So don't be shy with the salt. As for the cooking time, check the package instructions, then subtract a minute. We are aiming for al dente, which means to the tooth in Italian. It should be tender but still firm to the bite. This texture not only tastes better but also helps the sauce cling to the pasta. Before draining your pasta, scoop out a cup of the pasta water. This starchy water is liquid gold. It can be used to adjust the consistency of your sauce, making it silky and beautifully emulsified. Now, drain your pasta, but remember to save some pasta water. Ready for the final step? The moment of truth has arrived. It's time to combine our pasta with the pesto. Let's get right to it. First, you'll want to drain your pasta, but here's a tip. Don't forget to save some of that pasta water. It's starchy and salty, and it's going to help us create the perfect consistency for our dish. Now let's pour our freshly made pesto over the pasta. Don't be shy, let it bathe in that green goodness. We're going to give it a good toss. You want every strand of pasta to be coated with the pesto. If it seems a bit thick, this is where our pasta water comes into play. Add it in a little at a time and continue to toss. You'll see the sauce start to become silky and cling beautifully to the pasta. But we're not just making pasta here, we're creating a culinary experience. When it comes to serving, presentation is key. Use a fork to twirl a nice serving of pasta onto your plate. Let it pile up high, like a little pasta mountain. Drizzle some extra pesto on top and finish with a sprinkle of Parmesan. Add a side salad or perhaps some garlic bread and your meal is complete. Every bite is going to be a celebration of flavors, a testament to your culinary prowess. And there you have it, the perfect pesto pasta. Bon appetit! So, was it as easy as it seemed? Just a few steps and voila, we've got our delicious pesto pasta. With fresh basil, pine nuts, and a touch of Parmesan, this dish is a true culinary adventure waiting to happen right in your kitchen. Now it's your turn to don the chef's hat. Whip up this delightful recipe and do share your experience in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Culinary Adventures for more such exciting recipes. Remember, cooking is a journey, and we're here to guide you. Until next time,